Starting with the vault. First I go grab the radio. I'm gonna go frame by frame here. And I push it up against the wall and towards myself, and that gives me a boost. And then I smack the radio into the lamp in a way that it latches onto me, which is, this is incredibly precise. Like, the way the lamp works is incredibly erratic, so this almost never happens. So now it's latched onto me and I'm up against the ceiling. So now, for some reason, the lamp clips you through the ceiling, and I don't really know why. Imanix actually found this. I'm not sure how he found it, because it seems incredibly counterintuitive. But yeah, he did it. And then I figured out that if you pause and unpause while you clip through the ceiling, you can actually maintain your velocity. And then you can do an upward save load. And if you haven't been following Source speedrunning in a while, if you save and load, you move a bit in the direction of your velocity. So if you just save load a bunch, you can go upwards. Normally you won't be able to move in out of bounds, but if you save and load a bunch, you can go in the direction of your velocity. So you have to get just the right boost in order to go this way. And then if you wait a bit when you do a save load, you actually lose all of your velocity and you start going downwards. So then I get myself so that I'm above the corridor, and then I save load back down. There's a random element in the scripts here, because this is not like a deterministic game. So this bit here, where we go above the corridor, this idea was actually from Rama. He came up with this idea that you'd get like a boost so that you're above the corridor, and then you'd save load back down. And previously, Imanix had been trying to get it in a way where he'd just save load up into the elevator, but we're pretty sure that's impossible, so this is the next best thing we can do. And then I save load down into the corridor, and then I do some strafing here. If you're not familiar with Source, strafing is altering your velocity, and you can also use it to gain speed. So you can do it either in the air or on the ground, and here I do ABH, which is if you jump backwards you go fast. That's pretty much it. Then I rebound my movement keys to be NEAT, so it's neat. So in this map, I start off by doing a strafe forwards, and then I crouch into an ABH off of my first jump. So this is actually something new. Previously people would just jump forwards for the first jump, and then you turn around and ABH, but there's actually a way where you can do an ABH on your first jump. So the frames are actually smoothed out, so you can't actually see me turn around, but in the TAS actually turn around in the original demos. I smoothed the frames a little bit, so it's like easier to watch, because the non-smooth frames are kind of difficult to watch, and it looks really bad. But yeah, I do an ABH out of the elevator, and just ABH into here quickly while strafing. There's some time here for me to screw around. You can actually do it without TAS at the beginning. It's kind of hard, but you could do it, yeah. And this is, I guess this is somewhat, yeah, this is a pretty old trick, but it's kind of has a new twist to it. So this door right here, if you ABH into it, you can sort of slope off of it and get multiple jumps off of it and launch. And then doing that, I launch up here, grab the radio from the air, and then I stock launch off of the radio, grab the portal gun, and then I shoot a blue portal up here. And then after you shoot the blue, about half a second after that, it vanishes, so you actually have to go through this portal pretty quickly. So let me see. You can see right here it vanishes. So you actually have to be going pretty fast in order to do that. Oh yeah, I forgot to explain what a stock launch is. Right, I forget these things sometimes. So yeah, a stock launch is where you get stuck in a prop and you jump multiple times over it. And because of how ABH works, this means that you'll gain a bunch of speed. So just grab the gun and do a seam shot. In all of the seams in the walls, there's a pixel wide gap that you can shoot through, and the portal lands out of bounds. So that's just a quicker way to get out of bounds on this map. Previously, people had been using save glitches and stuff for this. And then for some reason there's like a black box here that you can portal off of, so I portal it. And also I'm abusing the portal traveling speed in using a technique called portal peeking. So I'm shooting a portal, then I'm going back into the portal so that I can move the portal. And then I shoot a portal so that it lands under the elevator. And then I do a trick called PQR, which is I shoot a blue portal right before I exit out of a blue portal. So what this does, it vanishes the blue portal after I exit the blue portal. So what that does, it activates some sort of an anti-stuck mechanism and it pops you back inbounds. In this case, under the elevator. The explanation will be uploaded to YouTube. Yeah, I can probably do that. Right, so the trigger that makes the elevators move up actually extends a little bit under the elevator, so you can just activate it by jumping, which you can just barely hear there.
Very good.
Right, so after this, the map's on a timer, and I just have to wait for the elevator to get up top. So now I have some time to get a camera. So just shoot up there and grab it and do seam shots. And then I peek a portal onto here. And the thing about this is that you have to be parallel with the surface in order to be able to shoot this portal. So it actually takes quite a lot of peeks to do this. So that's why people aren't doing this in honest. You can't like shoot them from sideways. You have to be parallel with this surface because of how portals on ceilings work.
You can create.
And then I just do another PQR there and grab the camera. And then I do a trick called camera bug, which is I jump on top of the camera and there's like a spot where you can keep falling, but you're still stuck in the camera. So this means that you'll keep building up velocity, and you can, if you exit out of the camera at just the right time, you can convert this into horizontal velocity. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm building up speed for the next map. And the key in this map is I want to hit the speed trigger, the first speed trigger, as soon as possible, because that determines determines how fast I can do the rest of the map. So it's like here-ish. And then I do a seam shot here. I actually peek it like this. I don't think people have done this before, but it was sort of known for a while that you can peek it like that. And this portal lands in chamber 5, and it lands under a spot that starts the next dialogue. In this map, that you have to wait for these two dialogues to start. The one at the start that I already hit, and the second one. And the second dialogue can't start until the first one's finished, so I'm not in a particular hurry to do this one. And I actually crouch into this portal, and that pops you back through the portal. But it also, for some reason, it activates the second speed trigger. So I just did this because it was cool. You could also walk through the portal, and it would do like a PQR-esque thing. But it's kind of whatever. I wanted to show this off. Can I get the camera for the next map? This took like a little over a month to make. And then, oh yeah. Right. Oh yeah, probably missed something. Yeah, this is just a seam shot here that we already discussed before. You can shoot through the seams and it lands out of bounds. And here I shoot under the in front of elevator bit, and then I PQR there. And then I set the camera up for the end. And then I get myself under the elevator so that I can trigger the elevator to go up.
Enhancing the truth in 3, 2.
Trigger the elevator to go up, and I do another camera bug. And the thing to note here is that the level changes when this elevator reaches the top, so it doesn't, you can't really speed it up in any way. And then here, I do another seam shot off of the non-portable surfaces, and this lands under the elevator in 7. Then I do PQR, which is you shoot a portal as you exit out of the same color portal. So in this case, I shoot blue, and then I exit out of blue, and then blue vanishes as I exit the blue, and then that activates some sort of anti-stuck mechanism that pops me back in bounds. Oh yeah, the portal gun has a firing speed cap of half a second, so I don't really have to flick all of these shots as fast as I can. But yeah, I just activate the elevator to go up. And then I do a quantum crouch here, which is you can cancel your uncrouching animation by crouching again. And then I do like a little thing here. And then I can, since I cancelled my uncrouching animation, this means that my camera is actually above my hitbox. And I can shoot there. And people also call this quantum crouch, but yeah, that's the same trick. And then if you, wait, hold on, what was that even? I think that's where I uncrouch as I go through this portal, and that pops me back in here.
High energy pellet.
And I do some more peeks, and I shoot a portal under the infrared a bit. Then I do another camera bug. Go over the queue fast.
We have added a consequence for failure. Any contact with the chamber floor will result in an unsatisfactory mark on
There's not really much to talk about that, it's just an ABH.
Followed by death. Good luck.
So then again I do the ABH out of the elevator.
The enrichment center.
And I AFH off of this button and I shoot a portal under the door. It was also done in PDI, so it's not really anything new. And there's a new thing where I do a quick ABH so that I actually beat the elevator here, and this makes it go up earlier. It saves like 2 seconds. This was actually found by NanoClub, although some people, like I heard Xyz and Bvix had been also doing this in runs by accident, but yeah, it does save a bit of time. Then I spot on myself there, and then I do a save glitch, and I use this to get the chair. So I don't know. I don't think I'll go too much into detail on how save glitch works, but basically, if you save and load while you're next to a portal, it separates your body from your camera, and your body is the bit where your portals are shot from, and then your camera is the bit where you can actually see from, where I'm currently at. So I can shoot a portal there, and it actually lands in the observation room there, under a chair. So that makes the chair pop up there later on. And then I catch myself in this portal right here. And then I do some peeks to get in for the elevator. Get the chair, and then I do a stock launch of it. This was again the trick where you jump off of a prop a bunch of times while you're stuck in it, and you gain a lot of speed. Okay. So Xyz and Bvix didn't trigger the elevator, they just got under it, okay. So then I do a stock launch over the chair, and then I save glitch here, and again that sort of mess up with your body and your camera, and also your collision. So you can just do this sort of boost with the chair if you just push it up against the wall. Demonstrated a theory on how this worked back in like 2010, and he said that it works because the collision for the chair and you is different, but I'm pretty sure that's not true. So this is just a boost that you can do if you just push chairs against the walls while you're save glitched. And I just boost through the entire level. I actually do like a couple ABHs here. And another thing to note here is that the change level trigger on this level is unique in that you can just end the level by touching the trigger. In all the other maps, all the other chambers, there's a flag check for, I think it's like disable touch or something like that, that you can't just activate the trigger by, you can't activate the level change by just touching the trigger. So that wasn't ticked here. So you can just go into here and you change the level. So that saves quite a bit of time. So then, let's see. So as I hit the level change trigger, I had some velocity going, so it actually moves me during the level load so that I end up behind the elevator, and then I can shoot a portal here. And luckily in this level, the dual portal gun shoots a portal right into here so that I can use that to get back into like the actual level. And then I peek a portal onto there, and then onto there. So that's under the elevator, and then I PQR back in bounds. So this is actually a new thing, I think, yeah. It wasn't in the Human Access run, but people have been doing sort of a similar thing in runs before. But here I actually trigger the elevator go up before I get to do a portal gun, which saves quite a bit of time. I think it's like, it might be like 4 seconds. So that's kind of nice. Do the portal there and I go grab the portal gun. Then I do an edge glitch here in a bit. Oh, let me go back. So before we had the save glitch, so edge glitch is sort of like a temporary version of save glitch. I'm gonna stand on top of this orange portal here, and it's gonna put my body up into this room, and then I can shoot a portal into like this room that's separated by the glass. So then that's an edge glitch shot, and then another one. And this edge glitch shot, I think it lands like, the second one lands under the elevator and the first one lands like here. And because the travel time is so long, I can actually pop through this portal before the other one lands. Oh, it actually lands here, yeah. It's not under the elevator. It's like in the same spot as I previously shot in this black box in out of bounds. And then I just grab the camera here and set up for this under elevator strat. So the reason I got the camera there was because of a trick called fake reload. And what that does is if you drop a camera as a level load happens, or like if you load like a save or something, it reduces the cooldown of your blue portal. So this saves half a second each time you do it. So I can shoot this blue portal earlier. And then I'm gonna do a clipping glitch, which is, let me see, I'm gonna go back a bit.
As part of an optional test protocol, we are pleased to present an amusing fact.
So in Steam glitch, excuse me, it's clipping glitch. Yeah, I shoot a portal there, and I exit the portal in a way that my head pops out of bounds for a bit. And using this, during this time I can actually shoot under the elevator there. And then I land on top of the portal and do a PQR, like that. Then I do another clipping glitch. And I shoot into here, which is not like another black box that you can just portal off of for no reason. And portal peaks here. Okay, in front of the elevator. It's sort of like a thing that I've done a couple of times now, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail on it. Then I do like an older version of the camera bug, which this is using PDI mostly. You can also do it with this orientation, but it's not as good, or like not really as good, because you can't gain as much speed, but you can do it in more of a convenient spot. If I did the other method, where the camera is basically the other way around, I would just fall off of it, so I had to use this here. Then I ABH off of this camera here into the elevator.
To handle high-energy gamma leaking portal technology must be informed that they may be informed of applicable regulatory compliance issues. No further compliance.
And then I do another clipping glitch here, which I just exit out of the top of the portal and my head's out of bounds for a bit, so I can shoot onto. I can shoot under the elevator, yeah.
The enrichment center
I do a PQL at a 360 for some reason.
Participants. Cake and grief counseling.
And then I get another camera for 16 for fake reload.
Thank you for helping us help you help us all.
It's basically the same as 13. This route. Fake reload and then do the clipping glitch, and I get the camera and set up for 17, which is also like roughly the same strat. The start's pretty much the same, but then I do a clipping glitch that lands over here, and then I do some peaks to get in front of the elevator, and then I leave this camera here, and I'm gonna use it for fake reload again, which is the trick that reduces cooldown if you drop the camera at the level load. And for some reason, if you wedge yourself in this corner, the elevator just goes through you, and you can go through the elevator shaft. And the reason I actually did that is I wanted to have an orange portal under the elevator, so that I can just shoot a blue and walk into the portal. And this saves one portal, because you have to, in order to hit the seam shot right here, you need to be able to walk into the portal a bit, because otherwise you can't like hit this angle. Anything else, because otherwise I would have to shoot 2 portals and then the seam shot. So this saves 1 portal. That the thing that I set up the orange so that it's under the elevator at the start of the map. And then I do a PQR. This is also similar to, somewhat similar to 4.5, in that you have to hit the dialogue trigger in this map. And after this, you have to wait for this dialogue trigger to, or this dialogue to end until you can make the elevator to go up. So I have some time to set up for 19. So can I set the camera up there so I can use fake reload in it, and actually do like a fancy PQR here.
For more information, please attend an enrichment center.
So I actually PQR off of this portal, so that now I currently have a blue portal that's under the in front of elevator bit, so I can just PQR and end up in front of the elevator. So that was kind of convenient. You can also do it a lot of other ways, but it doesn't really matter since that level is no timer after you hit the dialogue trigger. There's also somewhat of a new trick. I do a clipping glitch here, and it lands over there. And then actually portals land on top of the portal that I shot on the wall, and that saves 1 portal compared to the other routes that we used before in this map. I'm not sure if this was known, but this probably wouldn't have saved time in like a human segment, since this shot right here, is like really difficult. It's actually like incredibly precise, and you have to do this all on caps, so. And then we're now into the escape maps, so these level change triggers are similar to the ones in 10, in which you can just hit them and the level changes. So I can just go through this orange when the blue lands and the level changes. And I also do some trickery to get this camera onto the next level. You can like barely see it, but I drop it there, and that saves like half a second because I use fake reload with it. And I do some peeks here. This like just hitting changeover triggers. And this actually the spot where I land is a little bit different from other wall runs before. I think it's like a little bit faster, but it's not super big of a deal. Then I'm up to EO2. PQR into here. And I do some crazy strafes, and I shoot like on this thing. And then I do an acute angle glitch into the GLaDOS room, which it's a trick which activates the anti-stuck mechanism in Portal, as the game thinks I'm stuck as I'm going through the portal, and that makes it teleport me to like a weird spot. It's a little bit complicated, so I'm not gonna go too much into it, but it's like a teleport, okay? So the acute angle glitch, and actually did this so fast that I have to wait for this turret to drop down. And when you hit this trigger to start the fight with GLaDOS, it incinerates all the, or it like removes all the entities that are not in the GLaDOS room. So that's why I have to actually bring the turret like this in the room.
Well, you found me.
And then I use the turret to shoot off the cores from GLaDOS. You're normally supposed to use rockets that GLaDOS fires onto you, and then you redirect them with portals, I think. I think that's how the game works. I haven't actually played this like casually in a while, so I think that's how it works. But yeah, you can just have a turret shoot the cores off, and it also advances the dialogue each time you hit GLaDOS. Then I just get the cores too crazy, and actually quantum crouch here, which is the uncrouching where you cancel your uncrouching animation, and that makes your head to be in a different spot than like your hitbox. So the camera tries to shoot your head, or the turret tries to shoot your head, and it actually misses and hits GLaDOS, and it can't really hit you if you're quantum crouched. Just like a thing. Then I do an edge glitch here, which is like the mini version of save glitch, where you can shoot portals with your body from weird spots. And that lands in the incinerator. And now I can just shoot these cores. I can shoot portals on this course, and they directly go into the trigger that incinerates them. So that saves a little bit of time over just dropping the cores into the incinerator. And then that's the game. If you actually use this core right here, it saves a little bit of time. Oh, I need to do that. So yeah, you can see like right there I use the core for a bit, and then I do a clipping glitch. Nothing. There's actually a portal bump, which is like a common imbalance trick, but if you shoot a portal that's near an existing portal, it tries to like move it to its side, so you can use it sometimes to put portals through walls, and I can use it to go out of bounds in this. And for here I decided that I'd take the route that the camera takes after the GLaDOS fight. Since I thought that would be cool. And then also at the end I set up the portals in a way that the cube like infinitely falls from the ceiling onto the floor. That's pretty much it. Yeah, fake reload works with any prop. I'm not sure if I explained that too fast. I might have, but if you have any questions about any particular chambers or parts, you can ask away. And here you can also see the effect gets stuck from holding the cube. I used the source pause tool that was made by Yolte, so shoutouts to Yolte. I'll also go through the people again. I want to thank Fiancy for the video editing and rendering. And I want to thank Mikael, Imanex, and Nanakub, and Rama for routing. Mikael did like most of the routing for this run. It was originally for the Out of Bounds rerun, but that didn't actually finish because people lost interest and Out of Bounds segments are bad. Nobody wants to do them.